Hey friends, in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the Synco G2 A2 dual wireless lavalier microphone system. In fact, you're listening to it right now. I got one of the lavs clipped onto the top of my shirt right here. At the time of making this video, this microphone is about 2 years old and it goes for about $140. Is it the best budget lavalier microphone for under $150? Quite possibly. I don't know because I haven't tried them all. But in this video, I'm going to go through some of the pros and cons of this microphone system. But first, let's take a closer look at what comes inside this snazzy carry case. Inside the carry case, you're going to find your receiver and 2 transmitters, which we will get to in just a moment. But first, let's go through all the accessories that come with this microphone system. First up, we have 2 lavalier microphones, and each of these plug into your transmitters. And these come with pop shields attached to them, which is pretty handy. These can help with obviously pop sounds, and also it helps minimize any kind of friction with the microphone rubbing off fabric on your t-shirt or shirt or whatever. If you already have a lavalier mic, it'll most likely work with these units anyway, but it comes with 2 lavalier microphones. Next up, we have our TRS cable, and this plugs into your receiver, and this other end goes into your camera or your phone or wherever you're using this lavalier mic system, which we'll get to in just a second. And let's say you are using a phone, this is the cable that you would use. This is a TRS, that's for your phone. It also comes with 2 windbreakers, and these fit on top of your transmitters. It just clips into the top of your transmitter like this if you're going to use it without the lav mics. Also comes with a spare clip for your lav mic. And finally, my favorite, this is the 3-in-1 charging cable. So you don't have to worry about individually charging each of these units. You just have one cable with 3 chargers built in. It takes about 1.5 hours to fully charge, but then you get about 8 hours of continuous use, which is a lot of time. All right, so that's all the accessories, and then we have our actual units here. We got the receiver and 2 transmitters. Let's take a look at the receiver. Here is your receiver, and on the side you have a charging port, your power button, which also acts as a mono stereo button. On the opposite side, you have the volume for transmitter A and the volume for transmitter B. Then on the top, you have your headphone jack, so you can monitor your audio levels from here, and then obviously your output. And on the back, then you have a clip which clips onto the cold shoe of your camera. Let's take a quick look at the transmitter. The transmitter, of course, you have 2 of these, and on the side, you got your mic input for your lavalier mic. Underneath that, you have your charging port, and then you have your mute and power button. On the opposite side, you have a low pass filter. I personally don't use this. I don't think it sounds good, so I just leave that off all the time. Then you have your volume control. On the top, you have a built-in mic. Now, from personal experience, I don't use this. I think using the lav mic plugged into your mic jack here sounds a lot better than using just the mic on top of this unit. Then on the back, you have a clip just like on the receiver. So that is a quick look at your receiver and transmitter. Now let's go through some of the pros and cons I have with this lav mic system. Before I jump into the pros and cons, in my next video, I'm going to show you how to take the raw audio from this microphone that sounds like this, kind of flat and muddy and just not very pretty to listen to. I'm going to show you how to take this audio and turn it into something that sounds a little more polished like this, using some of the free plugins in Final Cut Pro. Now, this is super easy to do. It just takes a couple of steps. So if you're interested in seeing that video, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that next video. Now, let me give you some of my thoughts on the pros and cons of this lavalier microphone system. For the price, there are a ton of pros. Like just how easy it is to navigate this menu. It is so simple. Even just turning on your transmitter and your receiver, they automatically sync together. So you don't have to go through this whole process of linking them together. It happens automatically in a split second, which is super cool. I love that you can adjust the gain for each of your transmitters independently. That is a really nice feature to have. If you're using both of your transmitters, you can record in stereo. That means you have 2 separate signals to work with later in post, so you can figure out the gains independently and not have to worry about them being mashed into one signal. That is a really nice feature too. I really like that you can monitor the audio levels using headphones from the receiver, and I do recommend that you do this so you actually get to hear in real time what your audio is going to sound like. You can check for any peaking that's going on, anything like that. Now, this doesn't really apply to me, but you can get up to 492 feet of connection if there are no obstacles in the way. That is quite the distance. You can get up to 164 feet if there are obstacles in the way, apparently. Again, I'm never any more than 10 feet away from my camera, so this is not a concern of mine, but if that's a concern of yours or something that's a big deal to you, that's definitely worth checking out. And as I mentioned before, you can charge these in about 1.5 hours and you get up to 8 hours of use. That is insane. And now for the cons. And I don't mean to sound like a cop-out here when I say the cons are very similar to the pros in that this is so simple to use, I could see it turning off a lot of people. If you're someone who likes to get under the hood and have a ton of options in a menu, this is certainly not for you. This is so basic and so easy to use. I can see it annoying a lot of nerds. But I will say for the price, you've got to keep that in mind. For $140, this is absolutely punching above its weight, and I love it for that. All right, guys, that is my quick review of the Synco G2 A2 dual wireless lavalier microphone system. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already. And remember, my next video is going to be how to EQ the signal from this lavalier microphone. So if that's something you're interested in, I'll see you then. Peace.